What's up guys, AJ here, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to door knock expired listings. Now make sure you stay all the way to the end because I'm going to show you the most efficient way to do it, and I'm also going to be showing you in this video how to approach them, what that opening line is once you're at the door. So let's get into it. Just had to back up a little bit. It was getting a little windy and I didn't want that to affect the audio. So first off, there's a few things that I want to touch on when it comes to door knocking. Just some things to think about. The first one is door knocking's not going to be as efficient as calling, as using a dialer system. I mean, think about it. You gotta get ready, you gotta get dressed, you gotta get in your car, you gotta stop at the gas station, you gotta drive all the way across town to the neighborhood where the expired is. And by the time you get to the house, I mean, it might have taken you 20 to 30 minutes to even get there, get out of your car, get to the door, and then they're not home. Well, what do you do then? You can see why it might not be quite as efficient. And like I mentioned, make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to share with you some tips on how to make it more efficient. Just remember, you're going to make less contacts when door knocking than you would calling. So number 2, rejection. If you're just getting into prospecting the first time, or if you've been doing it a while, you know rejection is a real thing, right? You know that fear of rejection may stop you from taking action. Well, hey guys, I don't want that to be you. So there are some things that you can do to overcome rejection, like creating a strong mindset, by reading great books, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, having a big why, different things that I coach on. But just know when you're door knocking, rejection is going to sting a little bit more regardless. You're face to face with the person as opposed to being on the phone. Of course, anytime that you get rejected face to face, it's gonna hurt a little bit more. But just know that once you build the strong mindset, once you develop a thick skin for rejection, once you have this why inside your mind of why you're doing this, then that rejection will eventually just really completely go away. It's like building a muscle. The more you build the muscle of being able to handle rejection, the more rejection you can take. Does that make sense? So by now you're probably thinking, well, this whole idea of door knocking for expireds isn't sounding that great. You're telling me it's less efficient, and you're telling me that I'm going to face more rejection potentially, or at least rejection that stings more. Yeah, those things are true, and it's my personal opinion you should be calling over door knocking when it comes to expireds especially. But if you want to door knock, I have some great news for you. Hardly anyone else is doing it because of the first 2 reasons that I just gave you. They're afraid of the rejection. They don't want to go through all the extra effort that it takes to actually drive to the house, walk up to the door. I mean, what if it's raining out? What if it could rain? What if it's too cold? What if it's too hot? There's so many excuses people will make of why they won't door knock. So your competition at the door will be next to nothing. Honestly, I'd be surprised if the house that you're knocking on that just became an expired that morning, I would be surprised if there was one other agent that knocked on that door that day. Now, of course, it's going to be market dependent. Maybe there's some little spots around the US where it's kind of just like a lot of competition for expireds and there's a lot of people door knocking, but that is extremely rare. That would not be the normal. So let's talk about some benefits to door knocking. Of course, a benefit's going to be you're face to face. You can do a better job presenting yourself and your services. And on the flip side of that rejection piece, people will typically be nicer when you're face to face with them because at the same time, it's harder to be rude when you're face to face with a person. So you'll probably face even less rejection, and the rejection won't be as extreme as it would be on the phone, but you will feel it a little more because you are face to face. But from what I've seen, typically speaking, people are a little bit more friendly when door knocking. I've done my fair share of door knocking. I've knocked on thousands of doors, and I just gotta tell you, I personally just like calling. I think it's more efficient. If it's raining, I can still do it. I have like this controlled environment. I have my prospecting bunker established. So I've always liked calling. But if you like door knocking better, awesome. You can create massive success door knocking. That's why I wanted to create this video so I could help you, because I know there's people out there who want to door knock, right? You've made the decision to start door knocking. Well, there's a few things, a few basic fundamentals that you need to know in order to get started and to be successful at this. The first thing is dress professionally. Of course, it might be super hot out. You might be walking for a long time. So you need to dress accordingly, but you can still dress professionally. Even if it's summer, I would still recommend wearing some slacks, some dress pants, and maybe a polo if it's super hot out. But if you can, still a nice button-down long sleeve shirt for the guys is what I'd recommend. Maybe a tie. I would not be showing up in shorts, guys. And girls, definitely if you want to wear dress slacks, perfect. If you want to wear a skirt, a dress, that's totally acceptable. The biggest thing that I would consider is footwear. Wear something that's comfortable. Even if it's tennis shoes, wear those, because one of the strategies I'm going to teach you later is going to involve some walking so you can be more efficient. So you're going to want some great comfortable shoes on. And of course, if you're wearing running shoes with dress clothes, style points are gonna go way down, but that's okay, guys. We're here to make money, not to make a fashion statement. The second basic fundamental, and I got 6 of these guys, so stick with me, is to walk with a purpose, walk fast. When you get to the neighborhood, get out of the car, walk to the door fast. Anytime you're in a neighborhood, just cold calling in general, walk from house to house fast. Don't walk across the grass, don't cut across yards, but definitely walk fast, walk with a purpose. If there are neighbors watching you, they're gonna kind of see if you're kind of lollygagging around on the phone, texting as you're walking. So walk with a purpose, because people are always watching. And if a neighbor is watching you from across the street, and then, say you're doing something crazy like walking across someone's yard, you get to their house, they're gonna be thinking in their head, I would never use this agent because they're trampling people's yards. They don't really care about other people's houses. They don't care about other people's personal belongings and things like that. So always have good etiquette when walking through neighborhoods. Don't be littering, don't be spitting, I know, crazy stuff. Don't be throwing your empty water bottle on the ground. Just treat it as if it was your own yard, because people are watching. And you want to walk fast because you want to get more houses in less time. The more houses you can hit, the more contacts you can make. Number 3, if the doorbell doesn't work, knock super loud. You don't want to get too crazy. You don't want to pound for a long time, but just 3 or 4 good loud knocks is what you need. If you knock too light, then you're standing at the door wondering if they heard you, and then you're going to knock again a minute later. And then if they did hear you the first time, now they might be a little frustrated because you are repeatedly knocking on the door. So just a few solid knocks. And if no one comes, go to the next door. Don't wait forever. I kind of try to listen a little bit to see if people are walking to the door or not, because it could take them time to get from upstairs to downstairs. So maybe wait 30 seconds or so, but don't wait too long, because the longer you wait at the house, the longer it takes you to get to the next one, the less contacts you make. All right, number 4. So when you actually get to the house and you're knocking on the door, they open the door. That was a mail truck coming up my driveway. All right, so when you get to the house, you're at the door, you knock. When they open it, smile real big, have good energy, stand up straight, and slightly face your shoulders up the street. That way you're kind of more open, you're less intimidating, like you're not trying to enter the house. So you're facing up street, you're smiling, you're relaxed, but great posture, you're dressed professionally, and you're energetic. And you can be energetic in your body language, with your smile, with your eyes. Your eyes can smile. I want you to think about that. If you see people who are smiling, but it's not in their eyes, it comes across fake. And just little things like having your hands open and not closed. All these things are on a subconscious level. Way back in the day when we were cavemen, if our hands were closed, you couldn't see what was in your hands. It could have been a weapon, could have been a rock, fists. Whereas if your hands are open, it's more inviting. That's why you shake hands, to show that you're friendly, you're inviting, you're not hiding anything. When you're squared up with somebody, that's like squaring off, like you want to confront them. Whereas if you're open and you face up the street, they see you as less intimidating. So just little things like this that they're going to be thinking about on a subconscious level. They won't really recognize it. They will recognize your smile and your energy, but the other little subtle things are just more on a subconscious level, and they do help. And make sure you're taking a step back. You don't want to be all up on them as they're opening the door. So that takes me to the next one, number 5. Be energetic. Be enthusiastic. Smile. Talk with your hands. Hey, how's it going today? Beautiful day. The more happy you are, the more excited you are, the better off the conversation is going to go. Think about it. Some people are working from home. Some people might be dealing with some kids who are a little bit frustrating at the moment. Some people might just be bored out of their mind. And when you can come in and add some energy to their day, add a smile, add some light to their otherwise gray and dull day, that's going to be a welcome encounter. So remember to bring the energy, raise the energy. If you got to pump yourself up on the way there, listen to some great music, get in a great state, do it, because your energy matters. And number 6, bring an expired listing emergency packet with you. What is that? Well, it's a packet that you put together, and it's gonna have essential information about what you do to get so many homes sold. It's gonna have your resume, it's gonna have like a pre-listing package. You can leave that with them. This is crucial. You wanna leave with them a great first impression. That's the emergency expired listing packet. So make sure you have some of those made up and bring those with you. All right, I'm getting a little tired of sitting down. So remember, with expired listings, there's old ones and there's new ones, right? If you watch the other videos in this 10-part series, I'll put a button up over here or something will flash on the screen. Click that, you can see all the other videos. But remember, there's old and new, right? Got my rafts over there for my pool. So remember, there's old and new, so you need to approach them in a different way. So they open up the door, you step back, you do everything I just taught you, and you say, hello, my name is AJ, and I'm just stopping by today because I noticed that your home came off the market. So I got over here as soon as I could to see how I can help. Do you still want to sell this home? Depending on what they say, if they say, yeah, we do still want to get it sold, you can say, okay, great, I'd like to apply for the job. Does now work, or would later this afternoon be better? So you need to be prepared, ready to list the house on the spot, so bring listing paperwork. You don't need to have all the comps ready and all that kind of stuff. Don't waste time. Just go in there, talk to them, have a conversation, get motivation, go over what you'll do to get the home sold, your listing plan of action, and then you can sign the listing agreement. You can put a price if you have a general feel of what that home will sell for, or you can just get the listing agreement and say, hey, I'm gonna go back to my office, do all the comps, and let me come back out this afternoon or tomorrow and we'll go over price. How does that sound? But you get everything signed right there. This shows such initiative that they're gonna be so impressed. You came to their house as soon as it expired, you're ready to list it right now. They want an agent who's going to take action and get the home sold. If they wanna sell it in the future, then just get motivation. Just go over the expired script. Okay, great, no problem. So you don't wanna sell right now? Well, if this home had sold, where were you moving to? So just go down the expired script, get motivation, then go into the nurture script, which is, if you haven't watched the previous videos, hey, great talking to you today. I gotta run, but just out of curiosity, when you do go to get this home sold, do you have an agent that you're already committed to? Or would you open to interviewing me for the job of selling your home? And then they go into your nurture farm and it's a follow-up sequence. Now, if it's an old expired, and this is a great strategy because you can actually group these together because you can go back in the MLS, say 6 months, pick a neighborhood and look at all the expireds. So you can group them so it's very, very efficient. That's a pro tip. Do not neglect the old expireds. So you show up, knock on the door, take a step back, do what I taught you. So I'd say, hello, my name is AJ Mida. I'm a local real estate agent. I was just stopping by today because I noticed your home came off the market a few months ago and just wanted to see if you were still interested in getting that home sold. If they say yes, you say, okay, great. I'd like to apply for the job of selling your home. See how the two scripts are very similar with a slight difference, that opening? If they're not yet ready to sell it, get motivation, use the old expired script, and then bring in the nurture script, add them to your nurture farm, and now you're building your pipeline. Remember, most appointments come from follow-up, not from the initial contact. All right, now I promised you how to make this more efficient so you're not just driving from one house to one house all over town like crazy and only stopping by 5 houses, only to have 2 of them actually home. You'll waste a lot of time and you will not see success. So what you do, and this is my pro tip for you today, is as soon as you are done with the expired listing, you're going to knock on the 5 houses over here, the 5 houses over there on each side of the house, and then the 10 across the street. That way you knock on 20 doors, or 21 doors, including the expired, for each house that you're stopping by. And if you stop by, say, 5 expireds that day, that's 105 doors, including the expireds, that you knocked on. That's a great way to move the ball forward. You'll get some great contacts, you'll build some great new relationships, you'll drop off some information. So this is a great strategy. Well, what do you say when you go to the other houses? You just say something very simple. You introduce yourself and you see if they need to sell. So something like this. Hello, my name is AJ Mida. I was just meeting with a potential client down the street and I wanted to stop by and introduce myself. Here's my card. You can have a card, a little package put together, a postcard, a newsletter, a flyer, a door hanger. Doesn't matter. Something with some information on it, right? You want to give something to them as you're introducing yourself. Then you just say, out of curiosity, do you have any plans to move, say, in the next 12 months or so? They'll probably say no. And if they say no, you say, okay, great. Hey, totally appreciate that. Well, I got to run, but just out of curiosity, this is the nurture script. When you do sell your house, whether it's a year from now or 5 years, 10 years from now, do you have an agent that you're obligated to? Or you could say this, or would you be open to giving me the opportunity to earn your business when the time's right? Then it becomes part of your nurture farm. This is your pipeline that you're building, guys. Imagine having 1,000 people in your pipeline, and you can do this in less than a year, that have said, yes, we will interview you when we're looking to sell our house. you will crush it. That's how I became a top agent in my market. All right, guys, so that's all the tips I have for this video today. If you liked what I was putting down, then hit the like button, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe because that definitely helps the YouTube algorithm to get these videos out to other agents. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one.